Hello, today I'm going to show you how I made a secret gamer room that's hidden in the ceiling of a room in my house. The real reason I made this room is because I needed a loft where I could store things that were lying around the house. But as I was doing it, the idea of making a little gamer room where I could also put things came to mind. A bunch of other things that were also lying around there. My house is an old house, so the rooms have very high ceilings, about 4 meters high. At the entrance, there is a hall that has a ceiling like this, and it's quite large. Every time I passed by there, I saw it and said that this was a good place to build it. So I got to work. Actually, building it is one of the easiest and also cheapest things. First, I measured where I was going to put the braces as beams to be able to support the floor. There are two options. The first is to make a hole in the wall and fit the braces there, and the other is to use these metal grips that are screwed in. I chose this because it was the quickest, easiest, and least invasive, and they also worked very well. They are generally used to make pergolas. According to the standard, the braces should be spaced 50 to 60 centimeters apart, so I placed them 55 centimeters apart from each other. I put them all up straight and screwed them in with fairly large screws and plugs to support all the weight. The room to be made was 3.30 meters by 2 meters, and in total, I used 10 metal boxes and 3 braces of 4.27 meters, which I cut to create the beams. Once cut, it's just a matter of fitting them into the anchors. These are 2 by 6 inch braces, and once fitted, they are screwed on the sides with common wood screws. This is to prevent them from sliding or moving, even though they can't, but it adds some security to the structure. Once all are in place, it's time to figure out how to make the floor. The floor can be made with any wooden board you want, but the most economical and practical is to use tongue and groove. I use 3/4 inch pine tongue and groove that is 4 inches wide. On the edges, the tongue and groove has a notch which fits with the one next to it. So it's just a matter of cutting it, applying glue, and sticking it to the other one using that same joint. Once fitted, I nailed them all to the beams so they wouldn't move or come apart. Obviously, we had to find a way to climb up and get in. At first, I considered the option of installing one of those retractable ladders for lofts, but to my surprise, they were very expensive. So I decided to use my mobile ladder and make a hatch that opened upwards. This also allowed me to create something that, when closed, it doesn't show that there's something there, but simply looks like a common ceiling. And so between one brace and the next, I left a section of tongue and groove cut and glued together with 3 hinges, which allowed it to open by pushing it upwards to enter. But when closed, it also acts as a floor. And moreover, if you look from below while it's closed, you can't even tell it's there, which would add that plus of a secret room. Once the whole structure was done, came the decoration part. Everything I put in, I already had at home, or I bought used for almost nothing. Like this puff that only cost me about $7. I put some rugs so that the wood is not exposed, and I put some cushions on the floor to sit on. On the other side, I hung my YouTube plaques and some other picture. In the back, I put an Argentine flag, and in the front, some speakers with obviously the television, the PlayStation, and most importantly, it can't be a gamer room if it doesn't have red, green, blue everywhere. So I put everything that makes light, like this neon cactus, a light-up Pac-Man, the smart clock that I taught how to make in another video on this channel. And that shows a lot of information like the weather, my subscribers, time, etc. On the sides, I placed 2 smart Wi-Fi LED tubes that I also made on this channel. They are audio rhythmic, color customizable, and controllable from any cell phone. Check the video links in the description if you want to make them. For some reason, everyone puts LED strips on the ceiling, and I wasn't going to be left behind, but it seemed to me that putting a fixed color LED strip was quite ugly. I even don't like it when you can see the LEDs and they just look like little colored balls. I put WS2812B LED strips all around. WS2812B These LEDs are the same smart ones I use for the LED tubes, my TV's Ambilight, and the clock. And I programmed a custom firmware. Making this LED strip is super simple. You will see that at one end it says 5B ground and DIN. And it has 3 wires coming out. These 3 wires we have to connect to any Arduino board. I used a Wemos D1 Mini because it was what I had. The ground and the 5.5 go to the pins that are called the same on the Arduino 5.5 and ground, and the one that says DIN goes to the pin that says D3 on the Arduino, in my case the Wemos D1 Mini. After doing this, we connect the Arduino to the PC with a USB cable and use the links that we have in the description, which are 3. The first one is the drivers that you must install so that your PC recognizes the board. The second is a program that I made to upload the firmware. We must open it and select the third file, which is the NC firmware. Once you get the check mark as in the video, it's done. We connect the Arduino board via USB to any common USB, and it will light up with the meteor effect that I programmed. There is no need to use any light diffuser or anything, and it can be used with up to 600 LEDs, that is 2 strips of 5 meters each. I also leave the materials in the description in case you want to buy them. Now, if all this process seems complicated to you, you can always buy a controller board like this one that comes with a lot of pre-programmed effects. Obviously, I don't see it as nice, but it's an easy solution and it's also attractive. Finally, I finished decorating with some toys I had around and placed the television. This television is a common television that has an Ambilight system behind it that I made myself, and I also leave the video in case you want to see it. As you can see, the Ambilight, which are the lights behind the TV, works with any HDMI device, in this case the PlayStation. This is how the room looked when it was completed. A room to spend all day lounging with the joystick in hand, and that is also super discreet. If you've watched until now, consider supporting me on Patreon. With a monthly contribution, you will help me make more and better videos. In addition to accessing exclusive content such as, among other things, updates on future channel videos. And I also leave you my Instagram in case you want to follow me. I upload content every day. If you enjoyed the video, remember to leave a comment and like. And see you in the next video.